about accountability. We're going to talk about the benefits of accountability, and we're also going to talk about 5 tips on how to be more accountable. So, accountability benefits are, it creates a greater self-awareness, allows you to kind of be able to identify and pinpoint different things about yourself that may be strengths or weaknesses, and things of that nature, to help you be able to navigate through different environments and situations and circumstances at work, personal, spiritual, whatever the case. Better goal setting. It creates a growth mindset. It is something that, after you start seeing that you're getting things done and things of that nature, you become a little more open to learning and exploring new things about yourself and finding new solutions and getting things done and things of that nature, which in turn creates a higher self-confidence. It makes you feel good when you started from nothing, or just having a thought of wanting to get something done, or complete a goal, and then when you finally get to that goal after following said steps, you're like, oh, that feels good. What more can I do? How else can I make this happen for this next goal, or however the case. So it definitely creates a higher self-confidence, which also helps you to feel more motivated and more inspired. You just kind of feel like, oh, well, if I was able to do that and it was so small, let me see if I can do this bigger thing, and then this bigger thing, and then you'll be tackling things that you felt like were impossible, and you never saw yourself being able to get that done, or however the case. So those are accountability benefits. Well, let's talk about now the 5 steps on how to actually carry out the steps of being accountable. So the first one is, you definitely want to start small. Usually the biggest thing about starting something new, or trying to tackle goals and things of that nature, is that usually on top of being scared, it's just like, where do I start? What do I need to do to make this happen, or however the case? And the best thing is to start small. Secondly, we want to make sure that we set and track goals. So you want to write down a list of things that you want to do and get done, or you want to actually see it. So I feel like writing it down and setting the goal is the first step, really, to trying to hold yourself more accountable and get things done. Because it's the first question is, what are you doing this for anyway? So you definitely want to set the goals, and then you want to kind of try to track them on a day-to-day basis. So at the end of every day, did I get this done? What on the list did I check off today that are going to help me get towards actually accomplishing said goal, or whatever the case. The third one is to create a schedule, a plan. So after you create the actual goal, you want to create a schedule, a plan of what that's going to look like in accomplishing that goal. So for instance, are you going to wake up at a certain time? Are you going to try to have set these 2 or 3 tasks done before noon every day? Things of that nature. Are you going to, exactly how are you going to carry out the goal? And in that, I feel like it's important to also have if-then case scenarios, which for me, that means that, for instance, like working out 5 days a week for me is just, it kind of can be a little overwhelming, or after day 2 or 3, your legs start to get a little sore and things of that nature. So for me, if I'm sore, if then, I can't do what the original plan or goal is that day, then I've set out something that to put in place for that. So if I'm not going to be working out, then those are going to be the days that I try to handle some self-care in regards to maybe like exfoliating my face that day, or my skin, or trying to get me a clay mask in or something of that nature. 4, you always want to reward yourself, because of course one of the biggest things about trying to be disciplined, trying to hold yourself accountable, is just sometimes it doesn't feel fun. It feels like you're always overly critiquing yourself, you're always having and trying to do the right thing, and sometimes that can feel overwhelming, it can feel unmotivating. So of course you want to reward yourself. Don't let the rewards be something that is indulging in what you're trying to get away from. So for example, if you're trying to stop smoking, don't let the reward be, oh, on Friday I'm going to smoke a cigarette, because that kind of defeats the progress that you've made thus far. So let it be something like, oh, you know, I really like a steak dinner, so I'm gonna make sure that on Friday I go and have me a steak dinner and pamper myself with a nice meal, or however, whatever makes you feel good. And then lastly, always think about having an accountability partner. You know, sometimes it's a lot easier to say, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then not hold yourself to it when no one else knows, because who's really gonna hold you to it, or who's looking at you and saying, hey, I thought you said you were gonna do this or whatever, and you didn't get it done. And if you don't have that happening, then what? You know, you just, it's easier to pass over things. So I definitely suggest having an accountability partner, somebody that you